Welcome everybody to the Pro Wing Racing League. This is the GT3 Sprint Championship, Season 15, Round 4 here at Francorchamps in the Ardennes Forest of Belgium. Favorite track, I think, just in existence. Love this track. I love the racing that goes on here. And we're underway. We got 10 minutes, 9 seconds left in practice, and then we'll get straight into qualifying. Starting off with the rankings as it is. Right now, Peter Flanner is in P1 in the Draft Punk Gold team. In the Pro Series, Trey Misek is second, and Joshua Jablonski is in third. Then going over the Pro-Ams, we have Christopher Chitterling leading the Pro-Ams. I would say, like, rather not dominantly, but he's got 1,205 points. Stevens Poe, which is Max Poe on the leaderboard here. Max Poe is in second with 934, but he's tied with Marshall Scari, who's in third. They both have the same amount of points, meaning second and third are actually just second, technically. I think third would technically be Alex Ofta, maybe. Colin Luckhurst leads the AM class. Drivers, Puck Yeah Racing, with 801 points. Brandon G. Burns is in second, and Brian Zaborowski Jr. is in third. Then going over to our rookie class, Sean Dickinson is in the lead in the rookies. SimCity Racing 2 driver with 978 points. Wesley Bryce is in second, and Jackson Shalak is in third. And then going over to our team championship, Max Oceani Margarita Masters are leading right now over the P2 of Little Lugnuts. Draft Punk Gold is in third. No Longer Radio Controlled is in fourth. Thunder Thighs Racing is in fifth. Fire Rules is in sixth. SimCity Racing 2 is in seven. Puck Yeah Racing is in 8th, Ski Team is in 9th, Draft Punk Silver is in 10th, Caffeine Global Motorsports is in 11th, Ganja Glizzy Racing is in 12th, SimCity Racing is in 13th, Cars Racing 14th, Pax Oceani Rambunctious Necromancers is in 15th, Living Legends is in 16th, Acer Race in 17th, Pax Oceani Rubber Shuckers in 18th, Narwhal Racing in 19th, and Shift E Racing is in 20th. That is all of the teams as it is. The little rundown of the top three from each, and then the overall. Oof, Caleb Slag hitting the barrier there out of Huon. One would say. And this should be exciting. Let's see what happens here. Bit of a wiggle. And that put Joshua Jablonski out there off the track. Definitely see exit of Puan into 13. Turn 13, there's a lot of debris on that section as they put more of it out here as well into Stavlo. That's also similarly a lot of debris here. Oh man, I'm gonna have to turn down my headphones because these angles brought to you by Mark Foley give us a little different perspective of the race. That said, we have a bunch of new drivers, and we, if nothing's changed, have 52 drivers that have registered for this race. But I am almost certain we've gotten more additions, and I'm terrible at math. just eyeballing it. So, any brief gaps of me talking is me trying to count with my hands. All right. Okay, we have 53 drivers, so we've added one more driver than what I previously had at clock 2. So 53 drivers have entered this race. Let's hope that they can all make it in. I know Jeff Koffold is having some issues with his internet connectivity, but yeah, let's see if he can make that return after his elbow injury. Let's see. Looking at the board here, Caleb Slag. I think Slag. Caleb Slag is a new addition. And we'll switch perspective so you can see. He's rocking that All-American livery on the Corvette. But yeah, welcome to the league there, Caleb. Clayton Davis has been around for a bit, I think. Go look at my rusty notebook here. Clayton Davis. Got nothing on this driver. Interesting. Yeah, he might be new. I think I've said his name before, but if he's not, it's in a black McLaren. That said, Aaron Myers returns, and he's in the AM class. That can't be, is it? I do not know. There's no, but I guess he's in the AM class, but that is not on my sheet. Yeah. Oof. That's unfortunate for that driver. Yeah, let's take a look. Who's out on track? Who's doing anything? Rodrigo Theory's out there. We got 2 minutes 43 seconds left to go, but what I will say is I'll pop back over to its sister teammate, Peter Flanner, who's leading the session right now with a 2:15.224. It's a fantastic time on the board. The closest one is about half a second away, and slightly less than that. It's 0.429 of John Javecki's in second. But what we're looking at here is P1 through P7 are in the 2:15s. Then it goes to Christopher Cheerling, who just had a slide. That's unfortunate for him. He'll be stopping. He's in P8, and then 2:16s from P8 to P24. Alex Zier in P24. Forrest Holland is also not on track, and we got somebody doing some pit lane donuts. It's always interesting. Forrest Holland is in P25 with a 2:17, and the 2:17s go from P25 all the way down to Craig Carroll. Craig Carroll is in P35. Then we go in the 2:18s with Richard Swirsky. He's in P36, and the 2:18s stay from third P36 to P42. And then Marcello De Leo is in P43 with a 2:19.000, and he leads that group of drivers with the best time of 2:19 over just one person, Steve McAllister, who's in the 2:19s. Then you have guys in the 2:20s and 2:21s. And that's pretty much it. That's what you got to look out for here on what the heck was that? Zach Peterson has the weirdest helmet I think I've ever seen on. Is that a Lego person? I think it is. It looks scary. What? I think it is. Oh my. I'm gonna keep it off that. Oof. Oh, Alvarez has a little bit of a little slip up there out of Puon. Take a look at what happened. It looked pretty planted. He just had a slide and lost on the exit. Some good avoidance, by the way. He kind of slid out of the way there. And that is the end of practice. And we are back. Right now we are looking at Peter Flanner, who was the first driver out. Nick Mazza, Jeff Koffold. Oh, Jeff is here, so his internet was restored. Some good news there. That said, it's just kind of a little look at the drivers on their out lap while we wait for their in. Explain my love for pickles. Yeah. I mean, I like cucumbers, but I just hate vinegar. It's a disgusting thing to do. Pickling anything is gross. I think you could do it without that. You could do it with other things, but still, it's so gross. A soggy cucumber that was, you know, run through. Like fresh vegetables. And here we go. Peter Flanner on his onboard. The driver who was fastest in practice, who's leading the Pro Championship. What can he do in qualifying, and there's chances like in this race. There's always a little bit of chaos that follows when we race here. I will say that exit of Blanchimont just before the bus stop, that left-hander, that fast left-hander, I think it's turn 18, it catches people out. I don't know a single Porsche driver that survives it throughout the race. I mean, that rear goes and it goes straight into the inner wall. It's brutal. It happens every time. And Peter maximizing his efforts here through these apexes. Here for Jeff and Gage. How's it going, Benson? Probably not Benson. A different Matt, maybe. Wyckoff? Benson's in this race. I see him there. The 929. Dyslexic. Looked very hooked up through Stavlo, and how is he going to fare when he gets through Blanchimont on the bus stop? The predictability may not have a 215, which is what you're going to need to get if you're going to be in the top 7 at least, because there's only 7 drivers in practice that got to the 215s. It may not even be his first lap that he really hooks it up, but maybe he's preparing for his second lap, and we'll exit that onboard cam, see where Nick Mazza, Peter Flanner stack up. And it still is the quickest time for the moment, but Nick Mazza takes P1 from Peter Flander, Jeff Koffold in second, and Nick Mazza just spun it. Yikes. That's going to be a whole different ball game for him. Eric Neville in 4, Forrest Holland in 5, Alex Zier in 6, Matt Benson in 7. Now down to 9 as Aaron Myers crosses the line. Christopher Chitterling's in the mix. Now we have Christopher Daniel in 4th, Chris Chitterling in 5th, Eric Neville in 6th, and a lot more drivers are crossing line. Where does John Javecki hold up in this? John Javecki is a quick driver. He was second in practice. There's no time on the board for him, and yes, Wyckoff is it quali yet? Yep. You're also here for Benson. Yes, it is qualifying. We have 9 minutes, 25 seconds left in qualifying, and John Javecki has not set a time on the board. Aaron Myers is in. John Javecki goes to 12th. Matt Benson's now in 13th. Aaron Myers is in 14th. Clayton Davis in 17th as Cooper McCoy crosses the line to go into 8th. Spencer Max Poe, or no, not Max Poe, but Spencer Smith in 9th. And we still have Peter Flanner in 3rd. So still a rough time to beat at the moment. There's a lot of Valhalla guys here. Marcello is in P22 at the moment. He did a 218.8. He's tumbling slightly. He's now in P23 as Wesley Bryce has crossed the line into P18. Mark Foley into 19. Ethan Orr in 20. Adam Tingle 21. Seth Hansen 22. Again, Marcello's in 23. Chris Lambeth in 24. We have a driver off back there. I'm just kind of curious about that. Tom Smith in 25. Lou Crane. I'm sure this is a new driver. Welcome to the league here, Lou. It's P26 for him. Zachary Peterson, 27. Jacob Simmons is in 29 now as Aiden Goertz, the anime guy. Yeah, and Peter Flander just sets the fastest time, but Jeff Koffold just retakes that time on the board to go into P1 over Peter Flander. Forrest Holland into P5. That's insane. Forrest Holland is in P6 at the moment as Eric Neville has just set the fastest time. Alex Zier goes into P6 as Mark Foley just overtakes him for P5. Marshall Scary, Ethan Bass into 7. Marshall Scary down into 9. Christopher Daniel crosses the line into 4. So we have a little bit of a Pax Oceani and Valhalla. There's a lot of these drivers on the grid at the moment. Adam Tingle into P13 now. Raul Alvis into 22 as Roman Bykoff went into 21. Charles Reed into 23. John Javecki down into 24 at the moment. Matt Benson in 25. Aaron Myers 26. And Seth Hansen crosses the line and he goes into 16, improves upon his time. Wesley Bryce into P28. Eric Koonsman just behind him in P29. Ethan Orr in 31 as Marcello De Leo just crossed the line and he is now into P23, improved his time to a 217.8. Richard Saritsky improves and goes into P26. Further down the line here, we have Luke Crane, who's in 36, Zachary Peterson, 37, Steve McAllister is in P38, Caleb Slag is in P39 with a 220. There's still other drivers, and it looks like we have another driver, but how do you say the same name? It's was one less L. Is it still Marcello? Machado? Well, this is a new driver. He has not set a time on the board. He's got 6 minutes to do so. Welcome to the league, by the way. I've never seen this driver, I don't think. An improvement for Zachary Peterson, who goes into the P28. As it stands, the P1 through 15, no changes in the order so far, but there are shakeups further back. No driver in the 215s at the moment. Peter Flander does go into second, and that is an improvement from him. He's now separated by 0.058 to P1, which is Ethan Bass, who was on that improved lap. Matt Benson now improves to P18. Mark Foley improves to P5. Marshall Scar improves to P10 over Alex Zier. Christopher Daniel just sets the fastest lap Out of everybody, he goes into P1. Gage Yams is into P6. Chris Chitterling, it was improving into P13, but now he's in P14 as Joshua Jablonski has just improved. He's now into 12 as Rodrigo Theory crosses the line and goes into 10th. Jacob Simmons definitely improved to P11 because he was down in the very farther down. Marcello with the one, still Marcello. All right, even with one L. All right, that's a little tricky. It'd be, I mean, the one L you think it would make it change, but I guess not. Ethan Orr still in P25. Marcello in P26 did drop down 3 positions from 23. Who's a driver that hasn't done anything? Craig Reese, he gets across the line now. This is his first lap on the board. That's P36 for him. Marcello Machado, he's still on an out lap. He was on a he started late. Lars Tyhouse is in this one. That's crazy. You got Daniel Sherman there. He's in P44. Callum Farley is in P42. So just drivers I haven't mentioned yet that haven't set times on the board. Yale Pena, another driver who has not set a time on the board, but he got that pink BWT Alpine. Oh no, not Alpine, but what are they? It's technically with Alpine at the time, but like that's more like the why can't I think of the Aiden Goarts goes into P36? What was that team? Checo Perez was on the team. That was the team before Aston Martin changed it to a different team. Yams going hams. Gage Yams and Mark Foley exchange positions. Mark Foley goes in P6 over Gage Yams. God, why can't I think of it? John Javecki in P8. Nicholas Mazza hasn't improved on his last lap. I think he's on an out lap. Sauber? No, it was Jacob Simmons improves. He goes to P4. Chris Lambeth improves to P13. Rodrigo Theory did improve because he was in the 20s. Now he's in P15. Charles Whedon overtakes Marcello for P27 as Ethan Bass improves to P1. Nick Mazza improves 1 position, P8. Gage Yams goes down 1, and he still got time on the board to do even another lap if he has it. It wasn't Sauber. It was the pink Mercedes team. Weren't they? I can't think of. Dylan Thomas is still have yet to set a time on the board. I'm almost certain that was also an off track. I could be wrong, but yeah, no time on the board for this Pro-Am driver. Craig Reese improves to P33. Let me say it was like not Air India. That wasn't it. Well, let's see what Marcello can do here. Machado. And is this a strong lap from this driver? Callum Farley improves to P34. Force India. There you go. It's not Force Indiana. It was Force India. But Brandon Burns improves to P22. Zach Peterson, P31, improves. Marcello Machado goes into P45. Aaron Myers improves to P26. Matt Benson has a black flag. Probably doing pit lane donuts. Forrest Holland still holding out here in P24. Yeah, it's Force India. I was thinking Air Force, but I was like, Air Force. Yeah, but that would be that would be it though, right? Like that, I don't even know which driver that was anymore. Doug Sherman's in the pits. It wasn't that guy. Man, I wish I remember. Oh, Yale Pena. That's the Force India livery. I know that like Alpine sort of you run something similar, like a special livery. But would you consider that more Force India or Alpine? Ethan Bass sets the fastest time. P1 still overall. Ethan Orr goes into P11. Um, Ethan Orr. I'm not even sure what. P11 for John Joecki. He improves his time in position. We're not going to see Marcello improve, so we're just going to see he'll probably go down a couple positions. As Wesley Bryce didn't go across the line and improve to P30, dropping him down to P31. Roman Bykov can still pull something out here. This driver was pretty quick and was in a group of quick drivers that are all pretty consistent and clean for the most part. Although I think this driver did get a penalty at the last race. Brands Hatch. That's fun. Brandon Burns improves. He goes to P18. Chris Lambeth is still out there. If I had to guess, where is that Ethan Orr? Well, he's not. Man, he's not on my list, so couldn't tell you if Ethan Orr is in any of these classes. No improvements out of pretty much every driver in the top 10. All of them are actually going into the pits. Chris Cheerling just spins it on the bus stop there. That was actually just style points to get into the pits. Actually, I don't know if he was really trying to finish his lap there though. But Nick Mazda is trying to finish his lap, and with the power down, can he improve here? No improvement from Nick Mazza. Seth Hansen, no improvement. Matt Benson still has a ways to go. Lars Tyhouse did improve. He goes to P28. Where's that stack some of these drivers up? Wesley Bryce is across the line. Is the BOP applied? I don't know. Wesley Bryce improves to P27. Matt Benson, I think, might still have time. I think he was one of the few drivers that had like a tight operating window. We'll see. He's still out there. Nope, he's parking it. Dylan Thomas never set a time on the board. It's unfortunate. 53 drivers out there. Just taking an ad break. Here we go. Well, ad break for some, not for others. Matt Benson no longer doing pit lane donuts, but kind of just eking out the clock here with 20 seconds left. And per the usual, Valhalla Motorsports not getting the accents on their liveries correct. Hey, maybe it's working. If it is, I would have no idea. I'll move this over and just hit refresh all and see if that fixes it. Oh, it says it's offline. Well, I just lost that too. What is that IR sidekick thing called? And they tell me that this is a better program. That is the words used, and it was disconnected, and now is connected, and now it looks like it's working, and now it's getting the liveries that it's supposed to. that said, I got kind of stuck on that for a minute or two. That's how it goes. Take a look at the grid. You can see P1 through 15. They're right there on the left. P16 is Chris Lambert. P17 is Rodrigo Theory. Brandon Burns is P18. Joshua Jablonski 19. Seth Hansen 20. Alex Zier 21. Clayton Davis 22. Joshua Spears 23. Adam Teagle 24. Forrest Holland 25. Matt Benson 26. Wesley Bryce 27. Aaron Myers 28. Lars Tires 29. Roman Bykov 30. Luke Crane 31. Richard Swertsky 32. Charles Whedon 33, Marcelo De Leo in 34, Yale Pena 35, Zach Peterson 36, Raul Alvarez in 37, Craig Reese 38, Callum Farley 39, Eric Kunzman 40, Tom Smith 41, Aiden Gortz in 42, Craig Carroll 43, Steve McAllister 44, Caleb Flag in 45, Marcelo Machado's 46, Daniel Sherman 47, Trey Bissack 48, Dylan Thomas 49, Douglas Chase 50, Michael Sharon 51, Ken Poulin 52, and Connor Burns 53. Oof, got that right under the needle as we are about to be underway. Has a lot of I'd say pro-ams mixed up in the pros right here. We'll see what the Pax Oceani can do. They're side by side. They're not on the same row. And here we go racing into turn one, and it looks like Peter Planner's got a good spot here. They're going to 4 wide almost, and they're taking it almost 4 wide. And it looks like Peter Flanner makes up a position. So does Chris Chitterling, and through goes Eric Neville, who's gone through. Christopher Daniel dropped down 3 positions, and further back we are cementing this up. But Jeff Koffel leads over these drivers, and further back it seems well in hand. And I say that, but there's Rodrigo Theory, who just went off but is held on to it. And further back, the drivers are still holding this out, and it is still pretty consistent. No wrecks that I can see. And there's a driver spun, and that's Marshall Scary off as well. I can't even click on anyone because it's going nuts. That's Marshall Scary back on. He's rejoining the track, and now he's lost 20 positions, but he's back in the fight. Matt Benson improved 2 positions off of that battle that ensued into, what was that, Lacombe. Mark Foley is up 1 spot from the start of this race. Christopher Daniels, that one that we saw right there at the start. Now he's down 4 positions. Just really, when it rains, it pours sometimes with these drivers. In the positions they gain and loss. But there he goes, 2 up. Now he's in P5. Further back, you have Roman Bykov, who's made 6 positions, but now it looks like 5, as Matt Benson's holding on to P24 at the moment. And further back, you have still battles happening with Richard Swertsky, who's up 4. And then you have Raul Alvarez, who's on the outside line there. And it looks like they are going to... Lars Tyos is in the front of them. He's in the McLaren. And it goes to Raul Alvarez for the moment. And they're still very much battling. And just behind, you can see Marcelo De Leo, who's also in this fight. He's in that purple. That is not the correct livery, is it? No, it is not. It was correct. Aaron Myers crossing the line. He's down 6 positions, but he might have a move here on Eric Kunzman, who's on the outside. And I guess we'll see. On the exit is the power down. It looks like he is through on this driver. Jacob Simmons battling out here with Gage Yams, who's improved 1. Mark Foley. Oh, no, sorry. That's Gage Yams. That's Jeff Koffold. Gage is behind them. And that one's not correct either. Use the sidekick, they say. It works. And yet, it doesn't. Jesus. The nerve. Telling me this thing works. I'm refreshing. It's gonna take a minute. It's still probably gonna get some of these wrong. Maybe not. Looks like it's getting some of these back in order. I'm just gonna hold here so it can find some peace here. Matt Benson does go through, and Forrest Holland also retakes his spot as Raul Alvarez is up 10 positions, and he's in the frame. Just to take a look here, yeah, Marcello De Leo up 2 positions in P32. He's got Craig Reese ahead of him up 7, and now this livery is correct in standing. It's that Ferrari livery. Wow. John Javecki's in the pits. Charles Whedon's down 13 positions. Where's Trey Mistack? Because he qualified in the back. Okay, we have a... Oh. He's spinning it. Let's take a look here. This might have been... What a chopper view. Goes for a move. Oh. Ambition over adhesion on that one. That might have been the only difference there. So no big crashes through Eau Rouge. And up into Radion. It seems like everything was working out pretty solidly. Definitely in Lake Home. That was where the first crash. All F4 for quick replay. That's very good. Roman Bykov making a move. So is Richard Saritsky on Lars Tiehaus. Move exchange back as Forrest Holland stays ahead. Cars racing there. And Lars Tiehaus taking the inside over Richard Saritsky, retaking his spot as well. And now we have a really good, tight battle here as all these drivers are kind of coming together. All their pace is kind of similarly matched. And now you have this long conga line forming. Dylan Thomas is right at the back of it. He is up 9 positions. He started further back significantly. No time on the board. I'm not sure why that was, but maybe... Yeah, that's unfortunate, but he's doing fairly well in this race. Gain 9 back to the back of this long stretch of drivers. Going further up on this stretch, I can't even tell who's in the front of it. I think it's Lars Tiehaus. And he might be getting... And he is. Now tell me if you like it, and you can tell me you don't. We can't see quite honestly where the battle is happening out there on track, but it is an interesting angle. Mark Foley went with that one, and I'm not sure what just happened there, but Dylan Thomas is up 12, and there was some mischief that happened in the bus stop, and a lot of these drivers gained some spots. How is Eric Koonsman doing? Eric Koonsman is in P33. He is in the mix. He's in this fray. There's a bunch of these drivers that are so bunched up, and he's P33, and he's got Marshall Scarry just ahead of him, and it kind of flows even further up there. We'll take a look at it as Adam Tingle is battling out here. And whoa, there's Joshua Spears, who got a little bit on the edge of his car there, and it bumped into Seth Hansen. all these drivers similarly pace there's that P9. Clayton Davis is leading this little pack, P18 onward with this group, and we can see some real different formations happening. Joshua Jablonski's up 7 positions. Cooper McCoy's just behind. Mark Foley is down 2. Gage Yams is up. He's up 2. Jacob Simmons is only down 1. And Peter Flanner is up 1. Eric Neville got a pass done, so... Oh, Marcello! We'll take a look at this right now. He spun and just lost the rear in Lacombe. He's down into P46 with that move. Yale Pena also had a moment. That's out of Pouon. Oh no! Oh, he held his brakes there. Now he's backing it up. It's not so bad. This was that Raul Alvarez. It was just a little bit of a bump there. Now, this is the incident that really occurs. Charles Whedon hits John Javecki. There's nothing he can do there. And Marshall Scari was also involved in that. But that was John Javecki who, on the chopper view... Oh, Cooper McCoy... there was a twofold scenario there of what went wrong. And now you can just see the division that's occurring, and yeah, there's not much you can do. That was the initial incident that started this whole thing. This is when Gage Yams passed Mark Foley. I don't know if he got like a slowdown or he was just slow on the exit there. Lars Tyhouse is still holding out. He's 2 positions gained. He's got Richard Swirsky just behind him. And this little pack that was formed very well in hand is kind of broken apart. You can see further back it is the pace difference is kind of devolving. As Lou Crane, ooh, that's not an anime waifu, that's a Hello Kitty waifu, I think. Let's zoom in on the waifu. Luke Crane. Alright, let's take a look. I think it's a Hello Kitty. No, it's a penguin. I think it's a penguin. With like a kitty thing on top. Rodrigo Theory must have a slowdown penalty because he just let Luke Crane by on the start straight. Hey, it looks like some type of penguin, or maybe it is a cat. I don't know. Wish I knew. Now we'll hold this. How Elliot Burton's race doing? Let's see, Elliot Burton. Is he even in this race? I don't think he's here. I don't think he's here, Justin. Now, I was looking again. I don't think he's even here. Sometimes I miss when I scan through this stuff, but I Craig Reese off on the side there. It's unfortunate. On the exit of campus before Stablo. It's into the barrier slightly. Not too bad. He kept it back on track, and I think he's still moving along. He's just lost some positions. Let's see. Marcello had a pit on lap 4. They had a spin on Lacombe, which is after the Kemmel Straight. So kind of in a race on their own right now at the moment. How are the Glizzy Ganja Racing holding up? Let's take a look. Chris Lambeth is in P13. He's got a 2-second gap to Cooper McCoy ahead of him. Ethan Orr is down 4/10 off of him at the moment. And further back, you can see Clayton Davis really on the edge here. They're all drafting in the defense because Spencer Smith is trying to hold out a defense against Clayton Davis. Going too wide through Lacombe, and it looks like it may go to Clayton. No, it doesn't. Spencer Smith's holding it on that inside line, and it is working. And just behind, oh no, gets him on the exit. There's Seth Hansen and Joshua Spears battling it out here, and Seth Hansen gets passed by Joshua Spears, and now Adam Tingle is involved in this. Jeff Lubitsch is definitely not here, so the other Ganja Glizzy is nowhere around this. That's 2 drivers that are regulars. Obviously, I asked. Oh, Jeff Lubitsch, you're in chat. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I didn't even read your name. I've been just looking straight at those the questions, or like it's just been a fugue state there. I'm not even hungover, so I don't know why. Let's go Clayton. Yeah, Clayton's doing fairly well. He's up 6. The biggest mover and shaker at the moment is gotta be Michael Sharon. He's in P36. He's got Craig Carroll in his sights. And it says he's got 13 positions gained here, but on my board it says 11. I guess we'll see across the line whether or not that is true. There was no F1 race today. I would at least known about that. I didn't realize they were doing a double header on IndyCar, though. I missed that one today. If you believe this, it's saying they're up 14 positions, but on my board, I have 12. I don't know who you trust. The relative. Spencer Smith having a go here at Clayton Davis. So, Matthew Wyckoff, if you're celebrating Clayton here, is he a Valhalla guy? And if he is, even more ironic that he doesn't even have the livery going. This speaks to the stuff that's happening. Adam Tinkle and Brandon Burns battling it out here, and Adam Tinkle getting the best right now. Joshua Jablonski also trying to make some moves here. I would love to know whether or not would you expect any less? Not really, no. Gage Yams is in what class again? Pro, right? Or not on my board. Not on my board. I think he's pro. This really doesn't help me. This stream helper. Is he on the... Is he maybe on this thing? No, he wouldn't be on this thing if he hasn't raced yet. Man. Oh, we got some drivers going into the pits. That's going to be an early trigger. Going to the pits on lap 9 of 20. Let's see if that is a thing that holds out. To be a move you want to do. Ethan Bass has not retaken P1 just yet. Chris Chitterling is the Pro-Am driver that is leading the Pro-Ams. He's in P4 at the moment, and he's been pretty rapid throughout this race. Should be pro. Who knows what they have him as? If he's pro, then he is pro. He just hasn't raced in the new season to slot him into a on the roster, which, yeah, is what it is. If only I could tell. Brandon Burns and Adam Tingle are still battling out here, and even Matt Benson's getting involved in this, trying to figure out what to do as he weaves back and forth. They're not really giving up here. And there goes Matt Benson on Brandon Burns, takes it to the exit there of Lacombe. Further ahead, you have drivers battling out here. Seth Hansen trying to make a move here on Spencer Smith. Josh Spears trying to make a move here on Clayton Davis. Aaron Myers might have a move for Lars Tiehaus. Don't know where our AM class driver is. We know where the Pro is, P1. We know the Pro-Am. And we know where the... Christopher Daniel might have a move here. He's getting awfully close to Christopher Chitterling. AM class driver, I think Ethan Orr doesn't appear to be on anything. Maybe he's on the power rankings. That would help me out here. Ethan Orr is not even on the power rankings because you have to be already in the... No, there's people here that are not in the power rankings. I am confounded, to say the least. Who is what is where. Alright, so that was a big, not helpful thing on either one of these things I have in front of me that can help me. Eric Neville looks like he's battling out here with Ethan Bass. As I complain about this thing, it looks like Ethan Bass has just retaken the lead at the end of the Kemmel Straight, just into Lacombe. And that's a great move. Even better when the announcers and the commentators not actually paying attention to this because of data. It's data nerds. They got it wrong. And that looks like a move that... Oh, he slots back in. The code is broken. I don't think it's working that well. Peter Flanner's holding out in P3, but still things to do. This group, P1 through 6, still solidly together. I would say the only little split is Christopher Chitterling has just got that 6/10 gap. He's trying to reel in Peter Flanner here. Oh, Gareth. It's a combination of things. Basically, since no driver has gotten into has shown up to race, it won't classify that driver, even if they are classified in general on the main power rankings roster. But that's not in this document. Jeff is probably fuel saving. Keep an eye on closed pits. Now, while we're looking at the top 6 here, and they're doing fairly well in hand, it's actually top 5 as one of them has gone in the pits. Let me know. What do you think of the angles? It looks like what it looks like. I like it. But this is it's a little bit of a shakeup. This is not the standard camera angles that Spa has to offer, but the angles provided by Mark Foley. Granted, it looks a lot better when you're not looking at battles, because if there are no battles on track, or they're not as well in hand, then, you know, this is a good, like, the other thing. But there is a battle on track. Aaron Myers. He's got Lars Teios just ahead of him. And just behind is another battle. I can only look at one of them at a time, but Roman Bykov. Jacob Simmons pit on lap 8. And he's battling here with Roman Bykov, who hasn't pit at all. And it looks like it's going to go to Jacob Simmons, who just ekes out ahead, but is into the gravel there and the sand, and that's just not good. Lost that position. Fark Moley, number 1. This is what Race Spot does. Use cams like RL trackside. I'm liking the cameras. Alright, so you guys like the camera angles. That's good. I'll put them back up when a battle is not ensuing. Christopher Daniel is getting ever so close here. Chris Chitterling. Oh, he is. It's claustrophobic almost. Gage Yams has gone into the pit, so that we're going to see him drop down the order. So we're going to see Chris Lambeth, Ethan Orr is going to get some spots. So people are going to be making those moves now, and we'll see how that all shakes up. Jacob Simmons would be a barometer here, because we had 2 drivers that were in the top 15 pit, and Jacob Simmons is on the exit, and it looks like he has, is that damage or just like the livery on the front end there? It looks like he has damage, and he's gone up to P22, and it looks like he's got a shot. What a launch on the exit there of La Source. That was just fantastic. And he is pushed up to P21 at the moment. Whereas Chris Lambeth is exiting out into P27. So I think this really worked out for one driver. Jacob Simmons now has Roman Bykov. Still holds out in front of him, though. I think that is a Hello Kitty livery. But it looked like a penguin at the same time. Just not quite sure. So this group of 5 haven't hit. The one to look at there is that purple Pax Oceani on Chris Chitterling, but yet still no move for the overtake, and they are all going in, but Christopher Daniel and Jeff Koffel have elected to stay out and go for the overcut. Will this work for these 2 drivers? Let's wait to see. And how will that all play out? Where was Gage Yams hit initially? Mark Foley also pit on lap 10. So undercut didn't work for Mark Foley, or maybe it did. He is just in close proximity to this driver. But how does it work to the drivers that they need to pass here? And it doesn't look like it's going to favor them exiting, as Ethan Bass is out, Peter Flanders out, Chris Chitterling is out, Aaron Myers has not pit just yet, Gage Yams is there on the exit, And you have Nick Mazza in 12, Joshua Jablonski just behind. So 4 drivers all kind of close together. They're going to be in the top. They're going to gain at least 1 position more after this is all said and done. It sort of worked out for Chris Schitterling. He's now 2/10 separated over the half a second / 6/10. It is what it is. Let's go further back. Luke Rain, who's in P32. He's got Joshua Spears, and they're both out. Who's the AM leader? I will. You know what? I'll try to figure that out right now. It's technically Brandon Burns, who or Ethan Orr. I don't know. Oh, it says Ethan Orr has rookie stuff. So, hey, the sidekick wasn't working earlier, so it showed he didn't have any accent. So, it would technically be Brandon Burns. He's in 5th, but he hasn't pit. Aaron Myers, who's just behind him, and not that far back, by the way. He's only 8 seconds back, 7.5 or 7. So these two are battling for the lead. As far as I know, even when they pit, Mark Foley trying to make a move here. Say, okay, this better help me. Where's an AM class? Adam Tingle would be the only other driver in contention in the AM class as Mark Foley pulls off that overtake on Gage Yams. Nick Mazza just behind as well. Now there's Christopher Daniel on the exit. Is he going to be able to hold it on ahead of Ethan Bass? The overcut did not work, and he has to follow in suit. So does Jeff Koffel, but does work for Jeff because he is now sitting 3rd in this race. And the two that pit on lap 12, the undercut was not powerful because they are further back. Peter Flanner now down into 4th, where he qualified, was up a position, and now you have these drivers that are back. They were part of this group, and the shuffle didn't work out ideally for them. Well, holy, the overcut didn't work out for some people. Adam Tingle is now behind Brandon Burns, who's just out. Matt Benson is out. Matt Benson's in the AM class? Of course, he doesn't have his accents on. Why would I have known that? Matt Benson is now leading the AM class, I guess. He's in P15. He's got Brandon Burns just behind him. Adam Tingle sort of in the mix there. He's in P18. That's something. What's that? Ethan Orr is slowing. Maybe cut the slowdown penalty. Just to catch everyone up, Charles Whedon is in the pits. Jacob Simmons is in the pits. Marcello De Leo is in P41. He had a pit on lap 4 after he spun right here on lap 3. Steve McAllister's in P39. Caleb Slag is in P38. It's just hard to say. I mean, not expecting to say it. Craig Reese is in P37. He had a spin of his own. Richard Swirsky is in P36. Tom Smith is in P35. Craig Carroll's in P34. Just ahead of him is Callum Farley in P33. Yams is too funny to correct how to say it. Is it not Yams? Hayams? I don't know. How else would you say that? The H is supposed to be silent. Look at that. We got an anime battle here. We got an anime kitten versus an anime dude. It's a P. See, if I didn't scroll through to show you the drivers that aren't really in contention for some good points, you would never have noticed that we have an anime battle off right now. And it is Aiden Gortz, who's in P31 ahead, and and Luke Crane, and it's Audi. Michael Sharon is just ahead in P30. Joshua Spears in P29. Roman Bykov still behind Dylan Thomas, but still very close. P28, Dylan Thomas 27. Eric Koonsman P26. Aaron Myers. Oh. And unfortunate for Luke Crane here. Let's see. Take a look at what happened. Just ambitious on the curb and did not work out. Unsettled the car. That happens. And Eric Koonsman in P26. Aaron Myers P25. Lars Tiles in 24. Rodrigo Theory is in P23. Marshall Scari is in P22. Forrest Hall in 21. Wesley Bryson 20. Brandon Burns in 19. Seth Hansen in 18. He splits these two AM class drivers that are battling for a podium on the AM class. Adam Tingle in 17. Ethan Orr 16. Spencer Smith is 15. Matt Benson is leading the AM class now in 14th. Clayton Davis ahead in 13. He might be the Joshua Jablonski he's a pro. The rookie driver, I believe, is Alex Zier it's going to be Clayton Davis. Our rookie that is leading the rookies right now is this guy right here, P13. How else would you say Yams? Himes? It's like a weird like HY thing. Himes. It's like dimes with an H. Himes. I didn't read your comment, by the way. I didn't read it. I was just Himes. I was just trying to phonetically say it a different way, and yeah, Himes, like dimes. Gage Himes. Okay, I'll switch it. Yams is funnier, though. We'll go back to static. There's a battle. Everyone's close. Everyone's close. I'll just say that. Everyone is close. You got Jeff Koffel just ahead in P5 over Mark Foley. Nick Mazza in this... this is a bad angle there, Mark. What's going on? That tree is in the camera view. I swear he didn't pay these camera operators that much money. Joshua Jablonski's in the middle of that sandwich there with is that at the end of it is Matt Benson. You could call this a Valhalla sandwich, though, because Jeff is leading in P5, and Matt Benson is the last driver just behind... Oh, no, sorry, not Matt Benson. Gage Yams. Himes? Heck yeah. Team Ski, top 20, Joshua Jablonski and Seth Hansen. They're doing pretty well. Gage Himes. It's a Valhalla sandwich. Where's Matt Benson, then? Why was I saying his name? Oh, he's further back in P14. He's close, though. We do have a battle on our hands, though, so I have to switch out of that. This is Alex Zier and Chris Lambeth. The Mustang. I like that he added the Corvette logo, though, because just to confuse me even further, we have two Mustangs battling it out here in P11 and 12. Appreciate trying to confuse me further by adding that right there on the front. I'm out for the remainder of the season. Fractured wrist. Brian Zaborowski Jr. Oh, man, that sucks, Brian. Sorry to hear that. You were third in the driver championship in the AM class. Well, you are at the moment. Alex Zier on the at the move, I think, is said and done, and has Chris Lambeth for P11. and I don't even want to replace this. I kind of want to show you guys what happened here. It was while that other battle was happening at the end of Camel Straight. This is what was happening at the start of the end of the Camel Straight, and he gets on by. It was a quick move, so they're no longer in a Valhalla sandwich. Mark Foley into P5, 2 spots gained. Nick Mazza also made a move there, and I think he made a move. I think he was ahead of Joshua Jablonski. Roman Bykov. This guy is not going to leave Dylan Thomas alone. They have been battling lap after lap. Even after the pit cycle, they pit together, and he has held on to this driver like glue. Both, I mean, one's a little different from the other. Roman's only gone up 2 positions from the start of this race from qualifying. Dylan Thomas is up 21 positions. Michael Scherer just behind him, 20 positions gained. So, is driving with staples in his leg? Oh my god. Well, he has gained some positions. He's down 6 overall, but he actually gained 1 over Jacob Simmons, who's got a black flag, and he's still in a race of his own right now. He's got 31 seconds, a full sector to Steve McAllister. But, I mean, he's holding out strong. That's all you can do sometimes. Chris Lambert now battling out here with Clayton Davis, trying to keep it ahead, and he does so for the moment. Now, what can Jeff do here? Is he going to try to make the same move that Mark did to him on the last lap? No, he doesn't. Oh, and Clayton Davis is off in Lacombe. That is unfortunate. He went side by side with Chris Lambeth. Chris Lambeth is now the leader and is still ahead. And he's picked up a little train of Matt Benson, Spencer Smith, and Ethan Orr. Make no mistake, any mistake Matt Benson makes will result in him losing the AM class win. P2 and 3 are just behind him, split by Seth Hansen further in that middle there. With the Pro-Ams, it's a lot different. The Pro-Ams is out of the thought process, I should say. Looking at this group, you think, I gotta see them, at least. That one, that appeared just briefly, that was Christopher Cheerling, who's sitting ahead in P4. Nick Mazza makes a move here on Joshua Jablonski. I'll have to pull out of that cam, but he did get ahead of him in the bus stop, or maybe Joshua Jablonski was behind him for many laps, so I guess it was Joshua Jablonski trying to make the move, and it didn't stick. There you go. It's a long race, folks. It's a long race. But just to reiterate on that one, Cooper McCoy is the Pro-Am that is in P10. He's in P2 in the Pro-Ams at the moment because Chris Schitterling is P4 in this race, and he got demoted to the Pro-Ams because of some unlucky stuff, I would say. But by no means I would say that he is a Pro-Am driver. He was a pro. I guess he's just got demoted to dominate the Pro-Ams, and they'll just have to accept that for a while. That's unfortunate. Because if you look at the other Pro-Ams, you got Cooper McCoy in 10, Alex Ziers in 11, Chris Lambeth is 12, Spencer Smith is 14. That's where the Pro-Ams are all in that running. They're all there. The pros are all ahead of them or mixed in with them, but that's just how it all works out with data. Even kind of know that I didn't think that demotions were going to occur like that. It is very complicated, I'll say. Got one that I haven't shouted out at all, but besides in practice, Caleb Slag. He's got Richard Saritsky ahead of him. Both these guys are rookies. Both doing fairly well. Up 8 positions, up 6. Richard's down 4, but Caleb's been up for 8. And he's in that Corvette. I know what it looks like. The American-themed one. And he was battling out here with Richard Saritsky, but it looks like he's fallen just off the pace there. But we'll go over to a different grouping here. See, look at this. You have Michael Sharon here, who's up 21 positions. Joshua Spears. He's quick. He had an incident, I believe, and he's down 6, but yeah, you just see when you see pros and pro-ams mixed into the AM class area, you just know something bad happened for the race. It's just ahead of him is Dylan Thomas. He's up into P26, and Roman Bykov hasn't been able to make it a move yet. It is the last lap, the final lap. We got some moves. Hopefully they occur. Maybe they don't. I'm going to have to pull away from this to show the final running of things just momentarily. But it looks like Ethan Bass is going to hold on to the reins here as he's got 7/10 gap to Christopher Daniel. They qualified where they're at, and they're finishing where they're at. It looked like they did have a chance at one point in soap and setups. It did look like there was a chance there for that Pax Oceani driver, but it's not changed after Ethan was able to make that move at the end of the Kemmel Straight, and kind of just, I think, solidified his win through the pit stop cycle and all. That said, this pro driver is going to win the overall and the pro class win. There he goes. P1 for him. Christopher Daniel, P2. Peter Flander, P3. Christopher Chitterling, P4. Mark Foley is still ahead of Jeff Koffold. He's going to hold on to P5. Jeff is in P6. Nick Mazza, P7. Joshua Jablonski, P8. Gage Himes in P9. Cooper McCoy in 10. Alex Zier in 11. Chris Lambeth is just ahead here, and he's going to hold on to it for Pete's 12. Matt Benson in P13. The AM class winner, by the way, Matt Benson. Spencer Smith in 14. Ethan Orr in 15. Adam Tingle is going to hold out in 16 over Seth Hansen. In 17, Brandon Burns in 18. Clayton Davis 19. Wesley Bryce 20. Forrest Hahn 21. Marshall Scarry 22. Rodrigo Theory 23. Lars Tyhouse 24. Eric Koonsman. A little bit of ways to go, but Roman Bykov tries to make that send down the inside line, and they're going to battle it out here. Eric Koonsman is going to hold on to that spot. Dylan Thomas is going to slide out. Roman Bykov takes P26. Michael Scher gets P27 over Dylan Thomas across the line. 28, Joshua Spears 29, Aiden Gortz 30, Callum Farley 41, Craig Carroll 32, Tom Smith 33, Richard Saritsky still a little bit ways to go. He's crossing the line now for 33. Richard Saritsky in 34. Caleb Slag in going to be 35 if he makes it there. Hopefully these two both have fuel. And he's across the line for 34. And he's across the line for 35. Craig Reese just a little bit ways to go here. Is it got 36. Drivers that have already finished. There's P36 for Craig Reese. Steve McAllister, just one more corner to go. P37 for Steve McAllister. And the this is a very odd one. but I'll yeah, we'll get to it. Uh, just pulling in the drivers right now. Congratulations to both of you. I'm going to start with Ethan Bass. Uh, great run, great run. It looked like in that first stint, it looked like it was going to go to the Pax Oceani driver there. How worried were you when you made that move down at the Kemmel Straight to make the pass again? Um, was it your did you think that's all you needed to do there after that first stint?
Steed one position, and then Eric was doing everything correct. He wasn't doing any big mistakes. So it was the one time I got a run was just the really good exit at La Source, so I just went for it because it just seemed like the right timing. Peter was far behind us. I was in no rush to overtake, similar to what happened, I think, when I was racing Mark here last time we went to Spa. I'm in no hurry to overtake because more times you overtake, the more lap time you lose to everybody behind you. And the pack was just like right behind us. The top five of us were all really close. It could have been anyone's game if there had been any kind of contact.
Yeah, I mean, I did notice that that was you guys, the top five are really packed together on that first stint. On the second stint, it I would say it kind of favored the people that stayed on the not the undercut but the overcut. The overcut really worked out for some of those drivers that were finishing in the top 10. I think the undercut was just didn't have any legs there. I mean, it looked kind of well in hand, especially when you were going through La Source and you had it right there on the entry exit. You're able to get by and keep the position. So that was very well in hand, and it looked like you seemed to have a clean race. I didn't see too much of your race, but besides the overtakes that happened there between you and P2. So congratulations, fantastic result.
Yeah, I mean, it was we had a it was that's a decent way to make up for the troubling time of during the actual official Spa 24. We had a really good car. We just ended up in a unfortunate errors and wrong place, wrong time. So I made up for that today. Kind of thing. Car
Yeah,
was, like I said, just absolute rapid, and it was a lot of cases like biding time. I was sitting behind Eric, waiting for that opportunity, just saving fuel. I could have gone for the extra lap if I had saved just a touch more, and I was as surprised as anybody that the overcut, the one lap longer, was so much better. But it makes sense because we're trundling on the outlap. The outlap's not amazing anymore. You're not perfectly as you would normally be because the tires lose a bit of temperature, a bit of pressure sitting in the pit lane, even if it's only for a couple of seconds. It's like I wasn't flat through or Rouge Radio on my outlap just to be safe because it's too easy just to stack it there on this new tire model, and new tires are interesting. So Christopher obviously just gained a whole heap of time on his really fast flying in lap, and then kept me honest for the entirety of the race. I think the penultimate lap, I tried to push for a faster lap time, and then I almost spun at Ravage. So it's like, okay, nope, 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 just get it to the end. Let's not crash this car again, please. I had enough of that during the 24.
yeah,
Kind of
absolutely. But you still were able to get that fastest lap overall. So that's a good thing to bag at the even at the end. I think it was on the second to last lap. I think you did get it. But again, congratulations, Ethan. Thanks for joining me, and I appreciate it. And again, congratulations overall and P1 for the pros.
Yep, thanks very much. That's nice bit of fun for the Orbit Drop Bear Mustang on a Sunday night.
Absolutely. All right, Chris Schitterling, congratulations, P4. The Pro Am win. Your rivals were kind of nowhere to be found. I'm just joking. Cooper McCoy was right behind you. He was in P10. Alex Zero was 11. Chris Lambeth was 12. Spencer Smith was 14. So you had some Pro-Ams that were, close. They're top 15, but you really just showed, like, why'd they demote you? I mean, it just seemed kind of like a like a move that it's just going to show you are quick and I think maybe you just had some bad luck on the last season. Was that what you chalk it up to?
Well, first, thanks, Jason. Thanks for the stream that you put on. Yeah, I did get demoted, and I was surprised actually. I didn't even know I got demoted until race two. And I think what it came down to was there's a little recalculation of how we do the points, and I was just below the cutoff. So I was happy to accept it. It's kind of fun to be towards the top of a class instead of the bottom of the pro class.
I mean, even so, if you finished where you finished, if you were still part of the pros, I mean P4 in the pro standings, I mean it still would have been it. I mean, you had Mark Foley behind you. That first stint looked like it was a bit of a sweat. You know, all five of you were, as Ethan was saying, you guys were just so compact. You were so close together on that first stint, and then once everyone did the pit cycles, that changed everything. How would you feel about Mark as close as he was through that first sector or that first stint?
Well, the first stint, I might say, was a little bit more than a sweat for me. It's kind of funny when you're around guys like Peter Flanner and Ethan and Eric. Those guys, they're so good at saving their tire temperatures and saving their fuel. Meanwhile, I'm just trying for the life of me to hang on to the back of them, going all out, not saving any fuel at all. So that's why the guys around me were able to, or some of the guys around me were able to go an extra lap on fuel. I was nowhere close to being able to get an extra lap. But yeah, they got a huge jump in the pits, so good on it. Good on them for that.
Yeah, I mean it was fantastic. And overall, did you have any issues with any lap traffic? I don't even think I even saw any lap traffic situations occur, but
Yeah,
had to be
no,
some.
yeah, no. Actually, I don't think so. So no issues with lap traffic. All the lap traffic I passed was like wrecked on the side. The only issues I had were with myself. So as the tires got hotter in the second stint, I got loose a couple times, got a couple slowdowns, and I was right up on Peter, but sadly I lost him there. For a while, I was like, you know what? Do I pass Peter? Do I not pass Peter? Peter's extremely fast, and so I decided to just hang out behind him, give a little bump drafting down the straight, so we could hopefully catch up to the guys in front. But sadly, I lost that.
Yeah, I mean it was still pretty sweaty regardless. I mean I think it was one of those also like less casualty scenarios. Did you have any moments where like out of Blanchimont were you finding that to be fairly stable, or were you having any backing off a little
Yeah,
bit?
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty stable. Towards the end, especially once I made that mistake, I had about 3.5 seconds behind me to Mark and about 3 seconds ahead of me to Peter. So at that point, I started to conserve a little bit more. There wasn't really much to race for. I just had to make sure I finished ahead of Mark and not make too many more mistakes.
Well, congratulations, Chris. I appreciate you stepping in the booth with me. It was a fantastic race, and you did well. I mean, you really showed where the pro-ams stand in that regard.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jason. Again, I appreciate you bringing me in here and doing the streams.
Yeah. Well, good luck on any. Are you racing the Falcon on Tuesday?
I'll be there.
All right. Well, good luck on Tuesday. I can't wait to see what you do.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Uh, Marcello. Yes. Sorry, folks. Once I saw the everybody that was the two drivers that decided to join me in the booth, I gave them the chance to do so before I read out the last. I did cycle through this a little bit. I will say that at the line, it said that Aaron Myers and Marcello De Leo were both P39. So I didn't read this off because I wanted to confirm with the results. Um, I read off until Aiden. I think I read off until Steve McAllister, but Lou Crane finished P38 over Marcello De Leo, who finished P39. Aaron Myers, who was tied with Marcello, ended up finishing P40. That part was just something I wanted to confirm out because it wouldn't have confirmed while I was talking to those drivers. Some people were still out on track. So P41 was Jacob Simmons, Charles Whedon 42, Eric Neville 43, Yale Pena 44, Zach Peterson 45, Raul Alves 46. Unfortunate for that driver. He had a great run throughout that race. John Javecki 47, same with him. Marcello Machado in 48, Daniel Sherman 49. Trey Mistack did not join us. Neither did Douglas Chase, Ken Poulin, or Connor Burns. That's 51, 52, and 53. They were not there for that. But that is the stream. Thank you for joining me. We have the Falcon Series, 1 hour race. I think it's round 3. Might be round 3 for that. That is going to be on Tuesday, this Tuesday at 9 p.m. Actually, I think it's 8:40 is when we start that one. 8:40, 8:45 maybe Eastern Standard Time. We have a schedule. You can click on our Discord, and we also have I think we have like a bot that you can get the information from. But if you can't, just join the Discord. We have everything there. As well as on Wednesday, we have the ARCA Oval League is still up, and Thursdays is V's and Rays, and then we'll be right back for round 5 on Sunday, next Sunday. And thank you for joining me. And that's the end of round 4.